Hey community, Jason Rom here. Today is a fun day. We're going to do a little bit of unboxing and we're going to build a robot. So Joe Martin and I are working on a project. We have video 1 out for that. This is video 2, and this is actually the unboxing and assembly of our bill of materials. And so the Maker's Pet robot, which is a self-driving autonomous robot, it is $130 out on their website, and it's got a 2D LiDAR on it. And we added an ESP32 camera module, and so we'll be adding that to the robot somehow. Probably gonna have to 3D print a part for that. And then, of course, batteries. Always need batteries. We could do rechargeables, but we just got the disposable ones first starting. And then if you don't have a Raspberry Pi or like an Intel NUC or an N100 or some kind of a miniature hardware to be able to play with in a lab, you might need to get a Raspberry Pi. It doesn't have to be a Raspberry Pi. You can pick up, like I said, an N100 or something. But that's what we're throwing in with our kit. I didn't have one, so I got one of those, and we'll see that here in a second. And so that's, we could take a look at each of these. Let me pop those open. You don't need to see batteries. I think you've all seen what batteries are. But here's the robot that we're going to build today. And then this is the camera module that will connect via Wi-Fi over to either the robot or we might go through an MQTT messaging center to be able to pass some of that stuff back and forth with robot to, hey, do I need to capture video and look at objects for object detection and whatnot. So we'll have that. And then the Raspberry Pi 5, you don't need the whole kit, but I got the whole kit, so I've got the power and the fans and the SD card and all that. I apologize. I know with these unboxing videos, you're supposed to like get the knife and cut it open. Like I got ahead of myself, but I haven't gotten all the parts out yet. This is the camera module. Let me see. Can I put that up there? That's the. I'm not going to take that one out of the package yet because I don't have a way to mount it to the robot yet. That'll be in a later video. But I do have in here. You see that I'm holding it up. I've got the desktop view. All right, so we have, that's the battery holder. So we get that out. Lots of foam. Here is the LiDAR, fancy thing, and that spins around, and that's how it takes all of its data points. So it's spinning and pulling in all that data and doing, well, your software will do calculations on that, but that's the underside of the LiDAR. That's the top side. And this is 2D LiDAR, so it's just going in one direction. So if it's got objects below its visibility or above its visibility, it's not going to be that useful. So we'll need to make sure that we're building an environment in which it will be successful, and so that's not going to be a problem. And then let's see what this is. For all of you purists that took all the classes where it's like, where's your static strap, and you're not carefully grounded and all that. I'm sorry, I've never really done that in my home lab stuff. Haven't had a problem blowing anything out. Only when I connect the wrong kind of power do I have some problems. So this is the motor driver, power supply board. So our ESP32 is going to fit right onto that. And then here is the ESP32 module. Is that one sealed? I don't have great dexterity, so we're just going to pop a knife open there and cut that open. Let's see. Here is the module that we will put down. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. Yep. Get a little focus on that. That one's not autofocus, so I'll just stay down here on the desk. And let's see what's next. We've got some wires. And Very tiny screws. That's going to be a challenge for my dexterity. What else do we have in here? Lift the lid or the. Okay, so I think everything's out of that box. Little motors to drive this thing. You think about this little servo motors that you might have played with. These are tiny. Curious to see how loud this is going to be and how fast the gearing is on this. I can't really tell what that reduction is, but we'll find out soon enough. And then we have the board here. I guess we don't need that foam. Get that out of screen. So now I'm violating my own rule when my son and I build Mark Rober's Crunch Labs when they come. I'm like, you must have a bowl or a dish of some kind to put all the little tiny parts. And I do not have a bowl here, so I hope my son's not watching. He'll get on me. All right, so here is the robot base plate. And imagine we're going to do quite a bit of attaching motors and standoffs. And here's the wheels. And I'm not looking at directions yet, but I imagine those go around the wheels. And those wheels are 3D printed, I can tell. In fact, all these parts are 3D printed. Those aren't mold injection. Yeah, those are all 3D printed. Hey there, Future Jason here. Nobody wants to watch me assemble a robot for an hour, so enjoy this 15-second build montage. Okay, we have an assembled robot. So we have the LiDAR here on top. The microcontroller is right here under that. They do have a custom board that the microcontroller is attached to, and I may need to tape those batteries down a little bit so they're not falling out of the robot. I mean, it runs flat, so unless I got a lot of movement on it, they shouldn't fall out. But would have liked to have seen some kind of a clasp to keep the batteries in. When I first started, I didn't know what these little flags for the posts were. But it became apparent as I was screwing everything in. Those are things to hold on to while you're screwing all your screws. And so that was a nice little design add to the 3D print. We have the skirt to hold the LiDAR, the posts to hold the everything onto the platform where the motors are mounted. We talked about it earlier, but the caster design here to be able to get the pin or the axle for that caster, a nice design to be able to rotate those in and then tighten. So that was pretty cool. Quick, not a tough build, and I'm looking forward to getting down the road to being able to play with this. So that will be the next video. Joe and I will be together for that one. Thank you for joining, and we will see you in the next step in this build process.